Let's take a look back at some of the best goals scored last year as Sunderland earned promotion back to the Championship. I've picked 10 of the best, and I'll try to explain to you why I've picked them. First up is Ross Stewart versus Crewe, away in October. Now let's start over and see why this is a good goal. The three people integral to this goal are Pritchard, Dan Neil and Ross Stewart. Pritchard moves in between the lines to receive the ball and help advance play. He moves it outside to O'Brien, but there isn't much on yet, so there's a 1-2 with Pritchard, and we see Dan Neil make a run, hoping that O'Brien will play the ball through here or here. He checks his run, realising this isn't going to happen, and O'Brien takes the conservative option and plays the pass behind Neil. Play falters as a result, but Neil plays a short ball and runs again with greater confidence that Pritchard will play the ball into space. Pritchard does even better than that and nutmegs the player to put Dan Neil into acres behind. The defender marking Stewart sees Neil break the line and has to choose. Can he close the space to Neil before the shot, or does he remain marking Stewart? In the end, he does neither, freezes, and Stewart has pulled off to the back post for an easy header. This is a well-worked goal with Neil and Pritchard looking to push the play forward all the time. Second is Nathan Broadhead's strike against Cambribge United in October, away from home. Play is out on the right-hand side with Wright and Gooch. Cambridge are trying to prevent the cross and win the ball with pressing numbers. Pritchard offers himself as a way out, and Wes Hoolahan charges in, worried perhaps that Pritchard may turn out of the marker and thinking he might be able to win the ball. But Pritchard reads Hoolahan's movements excellently. He plays it straight back to Gooch and indicates that Winchester is now open to receive the ball and advance into space on the edge of the box. Hoolahan, realising his mistake, scrambles to get back to cover. But things have opened up now, and Gooch sees an even better pass. Broadhead has moved to receive the ball and turns out from his marker, earning plenty of space. And the shot he delivers is an absolute cracker, arrowing into the top corner. And that's his wrong foot, mind you. This goal is a result of over-ambition from Hoolahan and Pritchard reading his movement really, really well. Third is Dan Neil's strike from a pre-planned corner against Plymouth in December. Assistant manager Jamie McAllister was responsible for this training ground move, so nothing here is an accident. Everywhere everybody goes is quite purposeful and deliberate. The goal here is to free up a shot to the near post, which will become undefended. So let's start again and see what's going on. It begins with Dujaku late into position, and this is deliberate. He's talked to the corner taker, he seems a possible target, so the defender has to follow him to the back post. This is going to leave only one defender covering the front half of the goal. So from here, the only job is to pull this man out of the way. That's Doyle's job. As the only centre-half on the 6-yard box, he's an obvious target man and has to be followed. So Doyle runs to the front post, and the first man is naturally pulled out with him. With the space now freed up behind, and Doyle moving towards the ball, it's relatively easy for him to lay it back for the shot. The job of the other Sunderland players is to fix the defenders in place and keep the space alive for the shot. In the case of Wright, he does this physically. Here, though, the move is intended to provide the shot for Broadhead, who, as we saw in the previous goal, is an excellent striker of the ball, and he moves into space to strike at the large open net that the move has created. However, Doyle doesn't quite hit the layback right, and it pings at the wrong angle, where Dan Neil is on hand to bury it through some bodies into the back of the net. A good goal from a pre-planned move. Does it matter that it wasn't quite what was planned? Who's gonna know? fourth goal is from the same game, but this time Nathan Broadhead. The ball is whipped up the wing to Djaku, who is lucky to get away with his poor first touch, but once he beats his man, Broadhead knows the cross is coming. He deceives the centre-half by feigning to attack the back post, but quickly moving to the front, flat-footing the defender and giving himself a free shot at goal, which he back-heels past the keeper. It's clever running from Broadhead. He decides the split second he thinks Djaku is going to beat his man, and the execution is just sheer class. Fifth is Stewart's equaliser against Burton Albion in February. Now, we only drew this game, but it's one of my favourites. Let me explain why. Neil had only been manager for 10 days and had talked post-match in the game before about avoiding passing in central areas, getting down the side and flooding the box with numbers. And this goal shows that message getting through and coming to fruition. Look how many Sunderland players are in the box waiting for the ball. It doesn't come though, and they try to work it down the side again. Pritchard turns to bring it inside, complains there's no one to pass to, then remembers his instruction. Down the side, get in the box. And as the ball is crossed, look how many options we have to score. It is rare you get so clear an insight from a manager as to precisely how he wants the team to play, but he gave us one, and it's evidenced in this fine team goal. Six is Jack Clarke against Fleetwood Town.
Take. Great pass from him. And it's Clarke. He's had a great game and he keeps on going. It's the goal of the game.
The game is already won and Fleetwood have had a man sent off, but this is Jack Clarke at his best. He uses the run outside of him by Defoe to take a defender out.
Pass from him.
And leave him with only one man to beat, and he then drops the shoulder and heads inside, unleashing a terrific strike. It's great to have someone with this kind of confidence and ability, and he reminds me a lot of Alan Johnston.
Great pass from him. And it's Clarke. He's had a great game, and he keeps on going. It's the goal of the game. Sunderland seal the points, and it's a first goal.
7 is Elliott Embleton away to Oxford United in April. This is Sunderland channeling England, full 1992.
Finds McManaman. Gascoigne. Showing him again, and Shearer, and it's 3-0!
Here, Wright advances with the ball, and because the Oxford forwards do nothing to respond, it puts pressure on their midfield, who are reluctant to break their defensive shape, but have to meet the advancing Wright at some point imminently. Matete has compounded Oxford's problem by taking up a lovely position between the lines. Before the Oxford midfield can decide what to do, Wright threads a ball through to Matete, and Sirkin rushes up for Sunderland to adopt their usual push down the sides. But Matete knows he is in space and turns to attack the box. He then passes it to Gascoigne, and Gascoigne to Sheringham, who lays it off for Elliott Embleton to lash home the last-minute winner against promotion rivals. I think this game was the moment that we began to think Alex Neil might take us there.
How crucial a moment could this be, and how brilliantly worked was it? They worked it out where they had the man over.
Number 8 is Elliott Embleton again. There's not a lot to say about this other than to marvel at Embo's technique to bury the ball on the half volley. It's a superb strike.
Wanted to get on with things in a hurry when Sunderland won the set piece. Elliott Embleton inside 4 minutes breaks the deadlock with a superb strike. The ricochet from the free kick dropped so kindly to him. He just swung his left leg out at it and picked his spot.
Number 9 is Stewart against Cambribge United in April.
Breathe out to this near side. It rolls across the box. Stewart on the turn. Fantastic goal.
When the ball comes out to Gooch on the right-hand side, Broadhead charges into space, and Gooch lays a good pacey ball behind the defence. I think the ball is meant for Broadhead here, but it hits the back of his heels and pops up behind everyone. Stewart stretches out a leg to control the ball half behind him, and moving away from goal and facing backwards, he pivots and strikes a fantastic volley into the back of the net.
Breathe out to this near side. It rolls across the box. Stewart on the turn. Fantastic goal.
Number 10 is, of course, Patrick Roberts in the second leg of the playoff against Sheffield Wednesday.
Clarke. Going to take them on here. Clarke! Picks out the perfect cross!
This is 7 minutes into injury time, and any of these moments might be our last attack before extra time. Sheffield Wednesday are a decent side, and we're well marked in the middle of the park here, so Bath chooses to hit it long. You can see here that our wingers push extremely wide, and that stretches the Wednesday defence in the middle of the park, so they choose to cover the options in the centre as a counter to this, rather than chase the ball wide. Once wide, you can see Stewart and Pritch head for the box, and you can see Wednesday's choice to smother these options play out as more defenders rush back. But this defensive shape has left Roberts unmarked, as there was no imminent threat very far out wide on the right. You can see all Wednesday's eyes are on the ball here, as Roberts now chooses to attack the front post at pace. It is extremely hard to defend against this. The central defender is largely focused on the incoming Stewart, wondering where he will go. Even Stewart doesn't see Roberts coming and goes for the same ball. I think Clarke saw this run some time back and plays this ball because it isn't the first time that Roberts has made this type of run in a game. He'd done it several times before in previous games. It hadn't come off before, but this time they both nailed it. And what a time to score. It's worth remembering that Roberts has played 97 minutes to this point, and yet still finds the energy to make this 40-yard sprint. That's some going.
Goal! It takes Sunderland to Wembley! He has run at them all night! And Clarke with another brilliant piece of wing play! And this time Roberts on the end of it!
There's my top 10 goals of last season. Drop a comment below, tell me which is your favourite and why, and I'm sure I've left out some of the ones that you think deserve to be in this list. In the meantime, roll on the championship.
Drove at them. Story didn't have an answer. Roberts makes a great run.